Cactus lovelier than orchid, blossom in my patio, soft desert stars, sound of guitars, makes the evening seem so sweet. In my adobe hacienda, life and love are so complete. There's no one on the corner, that's a pretty certain sign. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine. All the boys are singing love songs, they forgot sweet Adeline. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine. There goes Jack, there goes Jim, down to Lover's Lane. Now and then we meet again, but they don't seem the same. Gee, I get a lonesome feeling when I hear the church bells chime. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine. All right. My country 'tis of the sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim tide, from every mountain side, let freedom ring. How much is that dog in the window, the one with the wickedness tail? How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale. I must take a trip to California and leave my poor darling alone. If he is a dog, he won't be lonely, and the dog will have a good home. How much is that dog in the window? The one with the wig and the tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his cap and called him macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle, let me find the music and the stunts and let the girls be handy. Where are my friends? On your bike. And where are my friends of yesteryear, the folks I knew and held so dear? My friends of long ago. Now as I pause and look around, scarce one familiar face is found of those I used to know. So quietly they slipped away, I scarcely realized that they had gone beyond recall. My dear old friends of yesteryear, and now I miss them all. Goodbye. Somewhere the color, a chant of back, or goodbye, my baby, goodbye. Bye, baby, bye, love. Bye, baby, bye, love. Bye, baby, bye, love. Goodbye, my baby, goodbye. Where are my friends of yesteryear, the folks I knew and held so dear, my friends of long ago? Now as I pause and look around, scarce one familiar face is found of those I used to know. So quietly they slipped away, I scarcely realized that they had gone beyond recall. My dear old friends of yesteryear, and now I miss them all. Tender words of love, repeat them again, I implore you. Speak to me of love, and whisper those words in my ear. I adore you. Speak to me of love and say what I'm longing to hear. Tender words of love. Repeat them again, I implore you. Speak to me of love and whisper those words to me, dear. I adore you. Not now, but in the coming years, it may be in the better land. We'll read the meaning of our tears, and then sometime we'll understand. Then trust in God through all I did, and remember He doth hold our hand. Though dark thy way, still sing and pray. Sometime, somehow, we'll understand. We'll know why clouds instead of sun show over many a cherished land. Why song hath ceased when scarce begun. Oh, then sometime we'll understand. Then trust in God through all thy days. Remember He doth hold thy hand. Though dark thy way, still sing and pray. Sometime, somewhere, we'll understand. Where are my friends of yesteryear, the folks I knew and held so dear, my friends of long ago? Now as I pause and look around, not scarce one familiar face is found of those I used to know. So quietly they slipped away, I scarcely realized that they had gone beyond recall. My dear old friends of yesteryear, and now I miss them all. Oh, how I miss Eva, with her sparkling, friendly way. Always something to laugh about, always something to say. On many a happy occasion I've sat in her kitchen where, sipping coffee, we shared the news with others who lingered there. And now she is gone, I don't know where. They say to a better land, but heaven to me could scarcely be without Eva's welcoming hand. My heart's in the highland, a-chasing the deer, a-chasing the wild deer, and hunting the roe. My heart's in the highland, wherever I go. Oh, it's nice to get up in the morning when the sun begins to shine at 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock in the good old summertime. But when the snow is snowing and it's murky overhead, oh, it's nice to get up in the morning, but it's nicer to lie in your bed. Oh, my brother Jack's a baker, and he lies a-laying with me. He has to rise and go to work at 4 or 3:30. And ere he gets his trousers on, his legs are nearly numb. And as he stands a-shivering, I will lie in my bed and hum. Oh, it's nice to get up in the morning when the sun begins to shine at 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock in the good old summertime. But when the snow is snowing and it's murky overhead, oh, it's nice to get up in the morning, but it's nicer to lie in your bed. A preacher went out hunting upon the Sunday morn. 'Course it was against his religion, but he took his gun along. He shot himself some very fine quail and a measly big hare. And on his way coming back home, met a great big grizzly bear. The bear was out in the middle of the road, and he made for him, you see. The preacher got excited and climbed up a linden tree. The bear sat down upon the ground, and the coon crawled out on a limb. As he rolled his eyes to the Lord in the skies, these words he said to him, "Oh Lord, you delivered Daniel from the lion's den. Saved Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then free Hebrew child from the fiery furnace. The good book do declare. Now, Lord, if you can't help me, gracious sake, don't you help that bear." Just then the preacher's limb gave away and the coon came tumbling down. But the parson had his razor out before he reached the ground. The grizzly'd never learned to shave, so he thought he'd go away. But the preacher kept on praying loud, and this is what he'd say. "Oh Lord, you delivered Daniel from the lion's den. Saved Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then free Hebrew children from the fiery furnace. The good book do declare. Now, Lord, if you can't help me, gracious sake, don't you help that bear." Now, these last songs, those by Harry Lauder and the preacher and the bear, were on some old phonograph records that we had here many years ago. When the boys went out to California, and Melvin and Alton were in the Army, why, they left the phonograph here, and we used to play them. And after the house caught fire that time, I don't remember just what happened, but I don't think that it was destroyed. And I believe that when they came back from California, because Mother did come back eventually and kept house for Uncle Martin, well, I think I gave the phonograph back to them. Anyway, no, we haven't had it here. However, these old songs seem to kind of come back to me in memory, and I thought I'd put them down for fun. And then there was, oh, several others too. There's some old German songs Aunt Lena used to sing, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to put them down. One was light blue is Irish, that's why it's so precious to me. Hillblow is Irish, der have it so gern. And then there was another one about Ach du lieber Augustine. Ach du lieber Augustine, Augustine, Augustine. Ach du lieber Augustine, alles ist hin. De Geld is verslafen, de Weib is verlaufen. Ach du lieber Augustine, alles ist hin. Now that means, oh dear Augustine, everything is gone. The money is spent and the wife has run away. So everything is gone. And then there's another one which goes down. Machtens junge Weiber so machen sie und slapp die Eier in die Pan. Fress du die Dreck, mein lieber Mann, so machen sie. Machtens alte Weiber so machen sie. Om Abend hat die aufgewissen, morgen hast die Bett geschissen, so machen sie. That means now that young women of the world, they break the egg into the pan and eat it themselves and tell their husbands, you can eat the dirt, my dear man. And then the second verse, the world's older women, to hear them talk about it in the evening, they know everything. But in the morning, they've messed in the bed. In other words, geschissen means it's just about like what you can imagine it sounds like. And then there was another one. Louder but how ich mein Strumpf verloren. Und Strumpf geht nicht heim. Sehr geht auch wieder auf Lauterbach tun. Und kauf mir ein Strumpf für mein Bein. And now Lauterbach is a place they used to go to dance, Aunt Lena told me. And this girl said she lost her stocking there, and without her stocking she would not go home. So she'd go back to the town and buy stockings for her feet, and then she'd go home. And those are little songs Aunt Lena used to sing, and of course I learned them. I think I could have learned to speak German somewhat if I could have only heard it, but neither Aunt Lena or Uncle Louis. I had a real good time when I stayed out there. It's about, they call it the Crooked Ridge School. Well, I got that job teaching because the teacher they had there just absolutely quit. And the kids were kind of mean, of course. They thought it was smart to be mean. But I got along with them all right. Of course, they had to behave themselves. Well, anyway, I was going to say I used to come into town. They'd give me a horse to drive from Lund's, and I'd come into town and do my shopping, whatever I liked on Saturday. And then I could go to dances. So there were different fellows around there to take me. I used to go with Tom Shervin. He's dead now, Thomas. Well, anyway, of course, that's long ago. I used to come into town with him to dances in Roseau. And then there was a fellow named Bill Schoonover who took me to dances out around on Crooked Ridge. We went to basket socials and dances out there. It was a lot of fun, really. And the Lunds are very nice people. I enjoyed being with them a great deal. Well, they're nearly all of them gone now. One of the boys, Palmer, the youngest,
boy, or not the youngest, but the youngest one that was there at the time I stayed, is out here near on the east side of town. He got the home farm. And the oldest girl, Marie, is dead. Anne, I think, is living. And Gladys was born after later on. I never did know her. But anyway, I know Melvin, was the one that was born when I went back there once to visit. But he's gone, I know. So there's just Herbert and Palmer that live near here. But I always remember their parents. They're very nice people. And had a very nice time there. I enjoyed it so much. I remember particularly the winter that I stayed at Lars Lund. They were cutting wood near the road where we walked. And we'd come along there, and they'd be about ready to go home. The winter days are so short here. And then we'd get a ride home on the sleighs with them. But what I remember particularly are the rabbits. They turn white here in the winter. And you could see 25 all to 25 or 50 rabbits at one time here and there, all chewing on the popple bark from the branches of the trees they'd cut down. Oh, I never did see so many rabbits. But nowadays I don't think you ever see a rabbit. They had some kind of a disease and died off. But at that time they were very numerous. I was just sitting here thinking of the programs we used to have in the school out at Skyme. Well, they didn't call it Skyme then. It was just called Golden Valley. And that's the way I remember it best. But anyway, we used to have a program. We'd go around and collect up $1 here and $1 there. And then we'd buy apples and make popcorn balls. Mother always did that. And trim the tree and everything. And of course there was always a program. But because almost all the older people were Scandinavian, Mother would always see to it that we had some Norwegian Christmas songs. And I remember one particularly that had the melody of Silent Night. And this is the way it went. Glade jul, deilige jul, England glade ned i skjul. Sjå dem over med paradisgrønn, hør dem synge ved Gudes skjønn. De ligger blant oss de går, de ligger blant oss de går. Julefred, evig fred. Well, I can't remember any more of that now. Now I'm sitting here remembering about the card parties we used to go to here in Roseau. This was in the good old days, of course. Well, we used to have what we called progressive whist parties, and we took turns entertaining. I know we had them here one time, and we had, I forget how many tables now, but we had quite a bunch of people here, and someone came along and caught their foot in the draft of the big airtight heater and jerked it out and all the ashes out on the floor. I remember that. I had cleaned everything else, but of course it's always something you forget. Well, anyway, I cleaned it up, and we had supper. I had provided salad and sandwiches and hot dish and, of course, a lot of coffee. We had a good time. The way the progressive whist party went is the tables were numbered, and the head table, when you got to that, you see there are two couples at each table, and the winning couple moved up and changed partners at the next table. And then if you got to the head table, you didn't change partners anymore. You could keep the partner you came there with. and it was a good whist player, well, of course you were sick. Well, then, when you had supper, you just usually sat right where you were and ate what you could get a hold of. We had a good time. I can remember yet how much fun we had. And then they gave a prize. There was a booby prize, and first prize for men, first prize for women. And I thought it was a lot of fun, but all at once Eli decided he wasn't going to go to any more whist parties. For one thing, I guess the trouble was I got to the head table quite often, and if I happened to be there with either Louis Monkman or Ray Chapin, of course we'd sit right there and play, you see, until supper was called. He didn't like that. I guess he thought that it was too much fun or something for me. Of course, I suppose I did have a good time. There was nothing foolish about it, but I did enjoy getting out and visiting with people. And I guess he just didn't seem to see it quite the same way. He'd prefer to go downtown, walk around the streets, sit around in the restaurants or something like that. And let me stay home with the kids. That's the way it went. Well, anyway, at the time, though, we went to these whist parties. We had a lot of fun. I remember we had one over at Chapin's, and Mrs. I can't think of her name. No, she was a great big fat woman. She came there too, and they had it out at their place too. Oh, we kept on all winter long, and of course I had to leave the kids at home, but I had a lamp I fastened way up on the wall, and I let that stay lit. Turned it down some. Nothing ever happened, but I suppose it was kind of risky. But that's the way things are anyway. There's always some risk to everything. The woman I was speaking of was Mrs. Bert Bassett. She's been dead for years now.
So it'll hold off.
My loved one may with roses, my loved one may be there. The jewels that others gave me shall gleam within my hair. And even those that know me will think my heart is light. Though my heart may break tomorrow, I'll be all smiles tonight. I'll be all smiles tonight, love. I'll be all smiles tonight. Though my heart may break tomorrow, I'll be all smile tonight. You said you loved another and wanted to be free. You'd be a friend or brother and thought the world of me. Tonight where lights are shining, tonight you'll be with her, love, when lights are shining bright. Though my heart may break tomorrow, I'll be all smiles tonight. I'll be all smiles tonight, love. I'll be all smiles tonight. Though my heart may break tomorrow, I'll be all smiles tonight. Darling, I am growing. kommer jeg igjen. Og var der ingen fare, så ble vi her og stig. Men alle Danmarks piger, de stoler nu på meg, og derfor vil jeg stå som en tapper landsoldat. Hurra, 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 hurra. Min fader og min mor, min fader og min mor, det sagde disse år, ja, det sagde disse år. Når du vil stole på i krigen mannen gå, hvem skal pløye marken, og hvem skal gresset slå? Ja, dette nettopp derfor vi alle må avsteds. Hit ellers kommer fisken og hjelper oss dermed, og derfor vil jeg stå som en tapper landsoldat. Hurra, 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 hurra. Når tysken kommer her, når tysken kommer her, egen vær. Til Peder og til Bo, han sier du et på, og skjeller man han ut på svenskdans, så sier han hans mål. For folketallet alle språk dette like født. Men fanden heller ikke, for der kun kan ett. Og derfor vil jeg stå som en tapper landsoldat. Hurra, 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 hurra. Det er pigen opp for land, for pigen opp for land. Det kjemper alle mann, jo det kjemper alle mann. Og veget Oslo dråp, vi elsker reisets språk. Jeg vil vel offre liv og blod for gamle Dannebro. Men kommer jeg hjem til min gamle far og mor, kong Fredrik ville trøste det med dets hersens år. Sitt løfte har han holdt, den tapper landsoldat. Hurra, 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 hurra. Her senkla drog over saltens hav, til Norge hans vår månestande. Men gullens klipper han fann sin grav, det vakker så både en pande. Her seglar drog over bågene blå, for svenske penger uppstridig. Hjelper det Gud du visselig må, i gräset för norrmannen bede. Månen den skende och natten så blek, det var väg så saktige trille. En havfru uppifrån vanden steg, och spådde här sen klar elde. Men då andre skatske man, jeg gilder det glis og fage. Kommer du til Norge, jeg ser ifra sand, rett aldri du kommer tilbake. Du kommer tilbake. Led du din sang, dere giftige troll, all tiden du sparer må lykke. Fanger jeg deg en gang i min vold, jeg lover deg og visst ikke. Han seiler i dag, han seiler i tre, med all sine hyri og folge. Den fjerde dags morgen han Norge fikk se, det vil jeg ikke fordolge. Ned Romsdalskyster han styrte til land, og kledde seg for en fiende. Det folkte han 1400 mann, og alle hadde vondt i sitt sinne. De kjente og brente før det drog frem,
All folket måne bekranke, aldringens avmakt röste i dem, det spötte den gräden denke. Barnet bedräpte moders sköt, som mildige det ende smälde. Men rycket om denna jammer och nöd, till kärnan att landet är elde. Soldaten är ut på kommen sitt tåg, de mån och själv landet försvare. Förbandet var det med ingen språk, som nu sitt blod vill det spare. Rifflen han hänger ej mer på vägg, sitter gråhärde skute. Nucken upplyfter sitt våde skägg och väntar med längsel sitt buta. Det första skud här sent klar glatt, han bröllde och gav upp sitt onde. Väl skotter upp det då obersten fallt, Gud frias ifrån detta vonde. Främbander främ, de norske man, slå ned förförde. Jag önskar sig skatten hem igen, han vara i rätt stick till mode. Med döde kroppen blev ringen ströd, det levni fick knockat det ungdomsblod som här utflöd, det skatske pige begrädde. En ogende livende själ kom hem, som kunde sitt landsmän förtälja. Var farligt det är att besöka dem, som bor bland de norgaste fjällen. Nu vill jag förtälja min skärning så tung. Den sorget begynte den tid jag var ung. Min moder hon döde ett år jag då var. Stort kommer i hjärtat för händer jag har. Min fader var fallen till syr och till dryck, så allting i huset för bränna gick. Då måtte lida stort hunger och nöd, förgäves jag bad honom ofta bröd. Omsider den tunga beslutning jag tog, och jag som en bettler från honom bortdrog. Se vad jag mån vara då jag drog min väg. Jag vandrar på städer man kände mig ej. Och så jag nu vandrar kom till mig en man. Jag syntes han var den förnämestan. Han svärde om mitt namn och varför jag var. Och jag stackars drängen förtalte detta. Han sade, jag ser du är ärlig och tro. Jag vill dig jämtaga med mig till mitt bo. Jag vill dig upplära i ära och död. Jag hoppas som sidan att lönes med fred. Jag följde med mannen förnöjet och glad. Och Gud i hans bolek, han svärte mig av. Om jag kunde läsa, jag svarade nej.
på skolen at gangen begynte jeg. Han meide opp kledet fra toppen til tå. På skolen i byen jeg nu måtte gå. Han hadde en døtter på skolen da gikk, og stort undervisning av henne jeg fikk. Jeg deltog i visdom og understave, og datteren hadde med inderlig kjær, til dammen vi to konfirmerede ble, en tid som vi egentlig kjærlige bedrev. Ennå et dag vi til sammen man gå, slett ingen vår kjærlighet kunne forstå. Omsiden foreldre kunne det se, da var det var det på det aldri skulle skje. En dag mån min Herre meg kalle til seg. Han sadde du hastige på klær nå deg, jeg atter til sender av, og sender deg hen. Et brev får du med som besvares igjen. Jeg gjorde meg ferdig til staden at gå, til hjemveg da skulle på brevet jeg så. Det var til en sjømann, til hem jeg da gikk, så helste det han om, og brevet han fikk. Din Herre, min sønn, han tilskrive meg her, at du deres døtter har lav vidjen kjær. Nu jeg bevaret at sende deg hen, ifra du mer skal komme igjen. Kjøpmenn han ble nu underlig rørt. Han skjedde da han denne hadde jeg hørt. Hos meg kan du blive i dagen tre, så håper jeg hvis du din kjærest på se. Nu var dagen sluttet i dagene tre. Jeg ventet med lengsel, men pige å se. Den fjerde dag kom hun, og sank i mitt favn. Bemodig han smilte og navnet med navn. Og skal du nå reise fra landet og meg, så ønsker jeg heldig at få reise med deg. Det finnes vel en plass i verden for to, så ønskelige hjerter i sammen kan bo. Med det hun forlat meg, min underlig venn. Men med det hun forlat meg, min underlige venn. Hun gikk for å komme i morgen igjen, men stjernene ville det så skulle gå. Den arme om natten en sykdom man får. Hun sagde til sine foreldre jeg dør. Hun sagde av hans beslutning var før.
Han ønsket min gjerne å tale for. Foreldrene lå fikk til alt, og ordet hun hadde neppe uttalt. For faderen reiste med haster til meg. Han satte jeg året har urett mot deg. Den frihet du hadde dog jeg tog deg inn. Og den deg at berøve har vært min plan. Nå beder jeg deg at hjemfolge med meg. Men døtter sier hun vil tale med deg. Jeg gjorde meg ferdig at reise min vei, at tale med min aller kjæreste venn. I stuen kom inn, og jeg sorgfull sa, at den som jeg elskede hvilet på strå. Jeg kunne ei tale, ei flytte en fot, med tåren i øynene, jeg tankefull stod. I dag var din tenke at reise med meg, men nu får jeg gjøre en reise med deg. Jeg bad om lidet eller huske meg på. Foreldrene kunne min sorg forstå, og moderen sagde omsiden til meg. Det siste hun talte var hilsning til deg. Jeg gjorde meg ferdig at reise min vei, men pigens foreldre, det svarede nei. Nå vil vi oppfylle det vår datters begjær. Som eneste arving du blive skal her. Nå skrider jeg tiden så innlitt hos dem. Det beste jeg svavner, skjønt her er mitt hjem. Du og visen er dikte og for denne mi ferd, som haver erfaret hva kjærlighet er. Goodman Thorson, store Benjen, was well liked by one and all. Broad of shoulder, narrow-waisted, fair and handsome, young and tall. With his knapsack on his back, over mountain trails he'd track. To his friends his goods to show them, and they all were proud to know him. Knut the bait from Villamosa was a quarrelsome, gloomy man, but he had a drove of cattle, silver money, and the land. Knut was miserable and grim, rheumatism tortured him. He sat the saddle like a grain sack, but would ride around on horseback. Ingeborg at Triumph at Fagerlien was good looking, that she knew. When she went up to the Satyr, everybody went there too. All the young men from the town went to try to track her down, but she said she was beginning to care for none but Store Benjen. It went on until the autumn. Now the cabin stood alone. Goodman got the list to travel, so he put his knapsack on. He so joyful was and glad, but his good luck turned to bad. When he left his girl behind him, ugly Knut bespoke her time then. Back came Goodman from his sales trip, Sad and angry was to boot when he found that Ingeborg's pa had promised her to rich old Knut. You will see I'll find a way, to his rival he did say. Yes, indeed, and furthermore, ere you get through the old church door. Spring came now to all the valley, caused the streams to overflow. Knut began his preparations on his wedding to bestow. There was brewing, there was baking, there was lots of merrymaking. Violinist and the toastmaster, guests and those who followed after. Now before the home of Ingeborg ran the river deep and wide, but they followed it till later, crossing to the other side. Goodman Thorson in the lane waited for the bridal train, but he walked behind a screen of evergreen so thick and green. Mid the tumult and the clamor, Goodman approached the smiling bride, placed her high upon his shoulder, waded to the other side. All the people by the church rejoiced that Knut was in a lurch. Priest and deacon also said how they thought those two should be wed now. So they were, and all were happy, except Knut, and he gave up with all the grace that he could muster. Bravely drank a bitter cup. There's a saying to this day, when things go wrong and skies are gray, and you cannot try it even. Yes, I can, said Storebinjen. Now this is the Norwegian version of the song, which I had translated into English. Goodman Thorsen Storebinjen, han var djupt i ett och allt, smal om livet, bred om bringen, fast på taver andre falt, glad och glätt men arm på Guds, det var han flink till fots, flink med skeppen på sin nacke, både upp och nedbacke. Knutla beitum via måsen var en tväruggla man, men så hade han fär på basen, sylviskap och fulla spann. Knut var bäre, grim och gram, slak över äxle och höfta lamm. Därför drog han gamla stydgen, helst iväg på hästridgen. Ingeborg i Fagerlien, bedde tärner sa du ej. Gick hon ut på säterstigen, blev han snart en alfarej. Byggdes unga karlfolk, drog till säterslyttig nog. Men hur sa hon, ansteg ingen utan Goodman Storebinjen. Det gick hen till upp på hösten, sätershytten stod förlatt. Då blev Goodman resalisten, och så tog han skeppen fatt. Men han drog på salv och köv, Goodmans frasen lycklig löd. Knutla bet och svårt var liden, passade det bäst drivet tiden. Så kom Goodman hem förksilde, hans hjärte kärva brud. Tvungen skönt han bar sig gilde, slag för så till rige Knut. Goodman hade stans din grav, bentig findes väl en rad. Rad för hur rad om jag för en, du skall inna kyrkedörren. Det blev vår i alla dalar,
Älven slog, älven steg och lovet sprang. Då begynte Knut att prala med den fest han fick i stand. Det blev bruget, det blev back, det var nog av stas och pratt. Bed omkring drog efter gäster, spelman och köpmäster. Emellan Fagerliens byrke och det striden älvedra med dets brure för till kyrke Knut Lebäck på pinsedag. För en spelemannen drog så kom bruden med sitt tåg. Först dagen pussel som slog på trammen som hon Knut med folket kommen. Men i skjule gröna granne bed den samma kyrke stig. Gudmund Torsson gick han henne. Just då färden kom förbi, snilden passade till sin skrid, så han folget brudens rygg, och då var det ingen hunden, rättet mellan han och bruden. Sådan gick det fram till näset, det var älven brölle, där stod flamman över gräset, upp till stia Gärdestad. Kyrkan lades så ner, det väg över på den anden bred. Men av bråde var det andet, en stamp så drev i vandet. Törde någon var det över, ropte isen vandet ut. Den gick, den här prövar det jag giver, fy och masens bästa stud. Men det svarade med svart, Riga Knut, du lovar gott. Vad det även den kan ingen, jo jag kan, sa stora bingen. Och i tramman la, och larmen främ sin bruden trängte han. Främ till bruden trängte han, löfte hände höjt på armen, sprang så i det stride vann. Älven om hans höfte stod, men han stämte sig emot. Nog och man sa han upprätt stride över till den andra sidan. Då han stod för kyrkevålden, jublet stora där och små. I hans arm satt hela hålden, bruden med sin krona på. Knut Lebäck, Knut Lebäck försökte Gudmunds nya kyrkaväg. Ingen av hans bröllop fäller, bara Mivi och älven heller. Folk på detta kyrkastävne lovde jag besvara det. Att värman med all sin evne skulle stå på Gudmunds rätt. Präst och klockar ligedan lovde han men hållde stand. Knut blev snart så spang till mode att han gav sig med det gode. Och men han i bäste, och man har i desse. Från den tid ett munhällt hav som i korthet kan beteckna Sigmund store bängens kraft. Är det arbete tungt och slängt, har men strågde fast det kämt, då man fullt får bukt med tiden. Ja, jag kan, sa store bäng.